Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Time for Splyce versus Luminosity. One of these is about to go home. Which one will it be as we head into Breakout Hardpoint?
Well, again, the expectation here is certainly for LG to be the team that comes out at least to map number one. Still off to an okay start as well. Of course, this middle hard point always going to be a little bit weird, always about setting up for those next spawns, and you will very rarely see a substantial amount of time taken. That being said, though, it is LG that's so far there in control. Worth pointing out, Saints already, he's on that 3 streak, but you got Octane the Beam himself sitting inside the hill, but this is obviously what LG wants. Not only do they have that cell block side, they have Showers control, at least for the moment. Jerd's trying to change that, and he's going to be able to do just that. That's going to be 2 down in their favor. See, Octane's going to fall outside of the hill as well, and that's actually going to force the spawns of LG completely out. Slack, he's by himself. He knows it. You see the positioning. It's a desperate spot to be in. He's waiting for the reinforcements.
Yeah, Slack is the only one who can really do anything here. Splyce playing a little bit timid. They're all actually in the hill now. They should be out pushing out the back. It's going to be Zero that hits out there. He's 4 and 1 right now, looking for it. Classic sees nobody in Laundry. They're now making a push. Zero's going to get caught out. Slack ends up taking him, and Splyce are about to be pinched. This is tense for them inside the hill. They know they've got to defend the doorways. Incoming nades are raining in, trying to spray in as well. Classic gets one, Bads and Jerd getting it as well. It's going to be Zero and Bads going through. Octane end up going down as well. Zero getting reinforcements in just in time, but it will be Luminosity with the advantage now, as you can actually see them have the closest spawn.
Yeah, Splyce did it once. The question is, can they do it again? Jerd, at the very least, is going to be playing just for the contest. Might be wrapping around, but frankly, this is okay for Splyce if they're able to contest a little bit further. Mad Cat's in the hill. He's able to pick up one. Gonna get shot in the side, and there you go. There's the break, but pretty nice turnaround. It's going to be about a tie game after 2 hills. I like what I saw from Splyce there. Despite the fact that LG had the spawns, they were able to hold through at least one time around. Now, Splyce, well, they're working with the cave side spawns, which is what you prefer, but still, it looks like LG, they're going to storm, and they're going to go fast.
Yeah, they don't really have the numbers here, Splyce, to hold this one out. They're going to have to end up pushing cave. They're a little bit worried about the push coming in both ways here, Luminosity. But Splyce are going to wait. It's all patience now. You cannot push. They know they cannot outgun them that easily. They're going to need numbers to push through. Zero is going to be the first one to go down. They were relying on that MV4 power. Jerd goes down as well. Trying to get it. Macat gets one. Macat snaps on the second, going down as well. And that's it. It's too late. Luminosity managed to get 4 before Splyce can.
Yeah, and this is pretty big time as well, because LG, they're probably going to be able to make this hold again, because again, Splyce, well, they're going to be concerned about the next hill, but you see Jerd actually, he's going on a flank, but he's going to get caught out and read like a book anyway. So, well, that was the big play Splyce is going to go for. They get shut down. It is all for naught. And, well, of course, team gets a full 60. That lead just completely explodes. Octane, by the way, he's going to be on a 4 streak. Classic leading the charge, just trying to bait for the teammates, and there you go. Octane able to get the 5th, 50 away from the streaks, but Jerd able to shut him down. Pretty big stuff, but you see Slack even. They still get the spawns as well. Splyce, nothing went well other than the fact that Octane didn't get streaks.
Splyce just have never been able to play this map properly. There was a brief period where they started taking teams on it, and then it all went down again here. They seem to rotate early, then lose spawns. They seem to try and contest, get rebuffed. They're already down 80 points now. Sorry, 70 points. Probably going to be 80 in a few seconds, and it is. We know Breakout's a big comeback map, but do you have to do it every time?
I mean, yeah, something definitely has to give. If Splyce ends up winning this match and continues to play in the tournament, they have to rethink their strategy for this map. They got to figure something out. Go back and watch the VODs. Mad Cat, though, he's trying to break in the hill, but Saints just going to be a little bit better in the moment. You see, he's 11 and 4. And again, this is what we talked about in the pregame. Yes, Octane is a god. Yes, Slack and Classic have their games as well, but Saints is also a pretty hefty slayer himself, of course. It's difficult often for these players on LG to shine. One player normally takes over, but it can be any of them at any given moment. Splyce, they got their work cut out for him.
Bans is going to need to step it up. He's currently 3 and 10. Jerd actually going to shut down Showers for this one, and they're going to try and get some big holes. Jerd again into the Showers, and Jerd continues to rack the kills up. That's 3 for him now. He's just making sure it's all clear for his teammates, looking for the spawn coming in as well. As he runs around, he probably will end up seeing one on War Run. He's going to go down here at the same time. So now he's going to call that out. They're going to know a player is coming Showers. But they're now going to start thinking actually here, Chance. When do we rotate?
Well, you see Vance is already actually making moves on the top side of the map. Meanwhile, though, Zero has been in this hill for a pretty substantial amount of time. LG, they're going to be able to break, but they're going to give up the spawns while doing so. So a relatively decent position here for Splyce. Of course, they're going to want to hold this hill. If you remember correctly from the first time around, LG, well, they were able to break through, but it wasn't entirely easy. Splyce did an okay job. of course, they're going to have to do a good job as well. Again, Jerd, he's going to be responsible in Map Classic with the ND4. It's just going to shut him down. Team shots more than likely came in. Cleanup kills are going to be, though, Zero and Vance picking up a few kills. Vance on that 3 streak.
They've got to be careful here, the guys from Splyce. They are spawning showers. They need a player to come down. It actually looks like Jerd's going to hit through middle to try to pinch these players from Luminosity, but it might be too little too late. They're actually already getting into the hill, but Jerd does get slacked through the back, and Bats will get another one into the hill. Jerd comes through to cover his teammates as well, looking for him at the same time, and he takes down Octane. Jerd so far is having the game for Splyce.
Well, and Vance as well. If he can get the Trinity, that would be absolutely massive for that next hill over by Graves. So you might as well bait your teammates, do anything you can. Know the pressure's coming around back. Has to win the gunfight against Slack. Does just that. Meanwhile, Jerd's able to pick up 2 as well. Splyce doing everything they can to turn this game around. And again, decent spot. Wastes no time. Calls the Trinity rocket in. He's going to keep Saints trapped in. Saints, of course, trying to respond to the pressure. Jerd continuing his streak. Vance on a 7. Jerd on a 5.
Here they go. Splyce seem to have managed to find another gear to kick into. Bats had a really bad start. He was like 3 and 10 kicking it off. Eventually, he's going to go down to Octane, but he should have earned his streaks going in from this one. And now they have control. What a difference a few hill makes. This is going down to almost 20-point difference now as they go through. Bats desperately trying to reinforce his teammates. They see Octane coming through cave. They see him pushing down low as well. Bats is not going to be able to do anything there. They burn their Trinity as well. And now Luminosity will have control.
And that's pretty huge as well for LG. Of course, the bombardment still in the back pocket for Vance, but Jerd didn't get his streaks. There's the bombardment, though. It's going to force him out of the hill. This should be an easy break right now for Splyce. They got the 4-on-2. Classic, though, is going to trade it out, make that a 2v2 by himself. Zero's there. And it looks like Splyce is going to be successful as the remaining players for LG did back off the commissary. So, again, relatively close game we have on our hands. Splyce, though, still a tough spot they got to carve themselves out of.
Yeah, Splyce really would have wished they didn't have to use that bombardment and had it for commissary, but they took it. They decided to bring this back to only a 15-point game. And that, after what we saw earlier, is a miracle if nothing else.
Well, Vance, he's going to spot a couple players, and he knows the pressure's coming from the back as well. He did spot the remaining player that's over in the back helicopter, but he's trying to push the hill as well, hitting the sneaky wall run, trying to be a little bit finesse, and it looks like he's going to do it to a T.
That's so clever.
Solo breaking the hill, and his teammates are going to be coming from the wall run, so he knows the pressure's going to be coming in the back. And Slack, well, it looks like he's trying to time it out, waiting for his teammates, has the ERAT as well. Favorable gunfight, and you see the smokes coming out as well. Ghost Gaming has been doing this all tournament. It looks like some teams are trying to adapt. That's the easy break. You see right there, the smokes distract. They were looking through there. He jumps around the outside, and LG come right back through.
They do, and they should end up having the rest of commissary. It will be Splyce setting up for mid. They've made a phenomenal comeback so far, but they have to keep doing it. Can they possibly go even further and take the lead? Well, Middle Hill is about to hit into this one, and Octane is laying down by it, and Jerd says, I actually see you there. You're very cheeky.
Well, Splyce in the hill once again. I know it's central rooftop, but even last time they did a pretty solid job. You know, LG, if you remember correctly, they ended up pushing through, giving Splyce the spawns over for cell blocks. So they got to be careful about it the second time around, correct their past mistakes. And of course, the willingness of them to throw smokes as well might be a factor going into cell block. We've seen it before. Still though, LG complete control of mid-map. Racking up the score, they're 30 points away from ending this game.
The problem is they're going to have to challenge here, Splyce. They can't afford to allow them to stay onto this hill. But at the same time, they can't afford to give away spawns. Catch-22 here for Splyce. They have to play brilliantly to make this one happen. Magcat trying to go through, Bats ends up getting him at the same time. And now Stack's going to hit there as well, and he's ended up ripping people apart, and he's got full streaks.
He's got full streaks, and they got the spawns as well. Splyce, they're going to need a miracle, but Jerd, he might be able to do just that. He's got the FDL, can put it to use inside the building. Still, though, he's going to burn it absolutely instantly. He's just trying to contest for the moment. He needs the support from his teammates, and it might be there. Vance is going to be able to pick up 2, make it 3. Still, though, LG, a lot of pressure of players in the back. Madcat, he's aware. He heard the call out. He knows he's in back, going for the challenge as well. Still, though, shots coming in from all sides. Desperate times right now if you're a Splyce fan.
They certainly are. Stacked has managed to get that contest in as well. He's not allowing Splyce to get any points in here. The rest of his team actually able to hit wall run, and Slack just out-juked the player, I think, from there as well. Octane takes down Saints, but they are going to completely clean it out, and that may be all she wrote. Splyce are going to be spawning into Spiral, but they basically have to run here incoming Trinity as well, and I think that's going to be all she wrote. Very little they can do.
Well, if only Jerd had that FPL now, but now everyone's getting pinned outside. The streaks are full effect. Octane didn't get many kills, but he got enough in the end, and LG, as expected, too strong in hardpoint, especially on breakout, getting that map 1 win.
They do, and we said coming into this one as well, just not been going well for Splyce on this map at all. We kind of expected it to go this way, Chance. It was very close, and I've got to be honest with you, the comeback that Splyce managed to mount was superb, but it's too little too late.
I mean, really, for Splyce, it was just, 1 or 2 mistakes that kind of costed them greatly, right? If you think about the very first set of rotations, they go over to Grave. Well, LG, they just win the gunfights, that happens. But if you're going to lose Grave and give up the full 60, you better make damn sure that you hold those commissary spawns, and Splyce just got picked apart along the way. So LG, they run up the score. They take, what, a 70, 80, 90-point lead, it seemed like, and it was already there. We were kind of calling it as if that might have just been it. So they started to play much better. After that, Splyce kind of found themselves, but again, too little too late.
Yeah, it really was. And again, even though we said before we didn't expect them to win, after they started getting hammered on that hardpoint, I'm like, this is just sad for Splyce. Fortunately, big comeback. It was Bantu ended up stepping up. Jerd as well managed to get a streak. If they got that second set of streaks, we may have seen them do a little bit more. The problems in that one were like they had to burn the bombardment as well as the Trinities when they went through Graveyard. That would have helped on Commissary. The smokes they clearly weren't prepared for either. Just not enough.
Yeah, and I mean, just thinking about Jerd with those streaks, again, these are incredibly minute details. This is hindsight 2020, super nitpicky. And of course, the casters have all the information, but he was 1 kill off streaks and he doesn't burn the FPL to try and get it. That obviously could have been a pretty game-changing moment, but frankly, Commissary, it tells the entire story, right? Again, just talking about the first set of rotations, Luminosity, they get the full 60 on Grave, but then they continue that destruction. That is something you cannot allow to happen, not at this level and not at Champs.
Here's the worst thing about this, right, is I've spoken to Splyce about this map, and they said we seem to always mess up going to P2, which is cell block. A game where they finally don't mess up going to that one, they completely ruin it on Commissary.
Well, of course, the question is, we're going into game number 2, and well, it's definitely the script is going to flip, right? So, of course, the expectation was, without a doubt, that LG was going to be able to win the hardpoint, especially on that map. Now, though, going into Search and Destroy, LG, their woes and sorrows have been ever present. It's been a pretty rough time for them in Search, so Splyce, they could easily turn the series around right here.
They certainly could as well, and I don't know, Splyce, they have the advantage going through into this one. You've got to kind of favour them as well. They've put on some really good S&D performances this weekend. If they don't win it, however, I think it's pretty much good night.
Yeah, it's basically a do-or-die situation. Again, the hardpoint record Luminosity had is pretty insane. And, of course, map number 4 is going to be Retaliation, which just adds to their resume even further. Of course, the uplink. Again, that's the expectation of being the swing map that very well may decide the entire series. It's important, but again, if you're Splyce and you know LG could very well win that, if you lose this, that could just be a 3-0.
It certainly could. All right, let's talk about key players going into this one. Chance, Luminosity, who to watch out for?
You know, it's one of those things that Octane's definitely the first person to spring to mind, but he didn't have that great of a number 1. At the same time, though, I want him to turn it around again when he's on point, Search and Destroy. I think even early on in this tournament, he posted a pretty nice KD, but he needs to be that guy for LG once again.
Well, if I'm going to pick Splyce, I'm going to pick Jerd. Really easy, not too hard. Let's see how this one goes down. And they actually ended up winning this map against Epsilon not too long ago.
Well, you see the start here. It's just going to be a free plant. No one right now for Splyce contesting, but there are 2 players snacked up, one inside a ticket, one on the front. Of course, the expectation, players are going to be hanging out in this bus area, but you got to find a way to get to them. And that's going to be the player in ticket trying to make the moves. Octane, though, he's ready for the pressure. Classic has the flank as well, but you see Splyce, all 4 players, they're starting to swarm. They're about to make their move.
They are, and they've got to move fast at the same time. Time is now going against them. Madcat's going to get shut down as well. Surely no! Madcat ends up taking down Octane. The kills are going in favor of them. Classic managed to pick it up. It's now Madcat in a 1 versus 2, 1 versus 1. Problem being is Saints is not going anywhere near that bomb site. And I think Madcat is just going to have to settle for the kill. And he does get it, but that's all he's going to get.
I mean, that's reasonable, I guess, for the situation, but Splyce is definitely probably going to want to reconsider their defensive strategy, right? Because they just wasted quite a bit of time before they ever kind of sprung into action. And obviously there's a lot of potential there in that 1v1, but there just needed to be more time on the clock. So I don't know if you can really afford to let that bomb get planted for free, not if you're going to struggle to kind of move into the bomb site. And again, that might be something where smoke's come into play. Just smoke out bus, and then you kind of have free reign. Either way, though, that's kind of a wishful thinking. It is going to be Splyce back on the attack, and already Jerd, he's sitting in mid-map on the opposite side of the map.
He is now. Jerd playing patient here. They've taken mid control completely from Luminosity. And I wonder if they're going to cut out. It looks like they might end up going tunnel, which is never an easy way to kind of actually end up pushing through. Octane desperately getting away, and that's a fantastically timed nade on Bance. Advantage now to Luminosity on this one.
Well, and Octane definitely feels the pressure. Spots to clear out on green as well. Mad Cat, though, again, able to win that gunfight with seemingly ease. He's 4-0. If he can get the bomb down, he's going to get even closer to streaks, but you see his teammates falling around him. Jerd, though, trying to go big for the squad. Saints not even focusing in the right direction. Mad Cat turns around, and he's going to snap on that player, and that is massive. If you're a Splyce fan, that is the best thing. Best possible scenario. Not only is it Mad Cat that stays alive and gets both the kills for the round win, but I think he has streaks.
Call it the mad snapper. Mad Cat is turning up into this game now. He's putting his team, says, look, we're not going out like this. This is not happening. He's 6-0 moving forward. Let's see what else the Mad Cat can do.
And you can see, he didn't even put on a scarab. He knew what was going to happen in this game. He's getting all the big boy streaks. Of course, though, still a few more kills to go, but bait your teammates out. Do what you have to do. Just make sure you can get those. Jerd, though, more importantly, first blood. Bance is going to get traded out after he gets the kill. So 2v2. Of course, you see Slacked right now. He's all the way over in silo. Zero, though, it looks like he's a little bit privy to the situation. He is kind of expectant that something is going to happen on the flank, but the situation right now, keep Mad Cat alive. Make sure he gets kills.
Don't know if he notices here. Mad Cat's going to see him as well. Slack's there. He's trying to throw out the nade, but Zero will get him. Stays alive thanks to that blast shield. But it is now Saints in a 1 versus 2. He is looking for Mad Cat and for Zero. Realistically, in this situation, Splyce should see him. The first player should either shoot him if they got the advantage or dip out and wait for the 2 versus 1.
Well, and you see Mad Cat, though, he actually, off of the assist of the kill that Zero got, he got his next set of streaks. So he's got 2. The bombardment's left. It does appear Saints was able to grab bomb off the site, but this is risky waters right now. If Mad Cat gets another kill, but you better make sure you shut him down. Kill the right person. He gets 0, but now if he dies, this is worst case scenario for LG. Going for the gunfight, though. Saints able to come out on top, and he shuts him down for the 1 versus 2.
That's so huge, and he probably doesn't even know it. Actually, probably does. It's really easy to see on the scoreboard. But that is going to be a shutdown of Mad Cat's streak. Zero and Mad Cat got outshot by Saints. Mad Cat decided to challenge rather than run.
And that's huge as well. Again, LG's woes in Search and Destroy have just been because of their teamwork. It's they give up first bloods, they get picked apart, but when you find yourselves in clutch situations, if you can clutch, you can win games, and Saints was able to do just that. And again, this is the most high-stakes match we've probably had in this entire tournament with, again, 2 juggernaut teams. Splyce, though, very aggressive. Vance already made it to Lemon. Chokes a couple shots. Zero's there for the help at the very least, and Zero picks up 2. Very nice turnaround.
They are Slack looking to equal this one back up, though. He is in top food, and he has been shot. You can already see, as soon as that happened, Splyce decided not to keep in their same positions. They already knew where one player was. They decided to get bombed down and stack up. You see Mad Cat and Zero actually playing a very similar sort of position. They actually, I think they had to probably communicate that they needed to split, both running that MV4. However, are they ready for the fact that smoke's just come in? Already gone down, and they're now just looking for Slacked.
Yeah, they seem ready. That was a pretty quick gunfight there. That's also a very easy bomb. Tried to shoot through the smoke. Slacked, well, he's going to jump straight in front of a player. Again, it's always situations where, well, you've already fed the other team the streak, so I guess you don't necessarily need to jump off the map. But a game that should have very easily been right now 3-1 in Splyce's favor. Again, got to keep giving credit to Saints for that previous round. Is keeping Luminosity at least close in this game for the time being.
He is. Let's see if he can continue to try and do magic work here on the Search and Destroy. We're on board with Saints for their attack. He does have a Scarab as well. Let's see what he can do. Well, it looked like they're making a B push.
Yeah, and that's interesting. They have to know Mad Cat has streaks. Why would you go, like, just stack outside? This is just dangerous. Of course, as soon as Mad Cat realizes it, and there you go, he's going to call in the Trinity. He's able to just get 1 for free, so already first blood to Splyce, and he's got players trapped in. Somehow, though, Classic is able to win the gunfight. Coming over top for the trade, though, there you see the remaining players on Splyce are just cleaning house. Octane in a 1v3. Definitely spotted players over by a tree, but they spotted him as well. This is a desperate spot. It looks like he might try and jump off the map, and no, he's just going to accept his fate. And there you go. That kind of is one of the stories for me for LG. Okay, Mad Hat has 2 streaks. Let's go outside and let's just see what happens.
Well, Mad Cat called it straight away and ended up ruining the guys in Luminosity there. Trading these for a round, fair trade.
I mean, I guess, but you're going to have to burn even another streak. It's just a rough spot. And, of course, payloads are going to be going up on the board for Splyce as well. Mad Cat, pretty sure, yeah, he already has that Centurion as well. So not necessarily the largest of game changers, but they're going to use it right here. And that Centurion is essentially going to watch the flank by itself. Of course, though, they have to get the bomb down. Looks like Bance is going to be that guy.
It's going to watch him, and there's 2 players coming the flank as well, so they are going to know. And Mad Cat will have now called out. You should see Splyce actually spin for this one. However, they only get 1 going down. Mad Cat, I think he saw both. It's now a 3 versus 3. Bomb down, though. Splyce still need to hold, and it is a trade coming in once again. Saints playing this very, very sneaky, trying to get in the right position. It's now all on Mad Cat, and there's nothing he can do. He goes down as well. That Centurion has been wasted, and it will be 3-3.
Yeah, and the Centurion placement's always interesting. They kind of left it there to, I would have imagined, watch the flank, but then they left someone to watch the flank anyway. Of course, that's more of a situation where the gunfights just do not go your way, but I've always just imagined that if you can just get the bomb down essentially for free, people can go to the contest spot on bridge essentially without having to be too concerned about their lives. Why not try and get the Centurion down there? It would have helped with the nades that Bance was taking. It could have been a completely different round. Either way, though, that just simply wasn't the case, and we're tied up 3-3.
We are. Now we can see there are some Scarabs in play. Looks like another fast plant. Both teams not really contesting A very much. And it's going to be Splyce who have to stack again. It's going to be Slack who's going to be right here, and he's going to pick up Jerd as well. Advantage to Luminosity. Bance is chasing, though. I don't know if he knows. He's looking for it at the same time, and Bance is going to be able to pick up Slack, but Saints takes him down. And it's still a massive advantage to Luminosity having that bomb down, having numbers. Zero gets tagged up. I don't think there's really any way they can win this unless somehow Splyce do something extraordinary.
No, I mean, they're going to fly out to try and kill the player at plus, but Classic's just ready to support his teammate. Mad Cat gets 1 trade, but that's easy kills for LG. They keep giving up this bomb plant for free. They're doing nothing to try and stop it. Then LG just falling in the back of the map. You saw that they were trying to flank, but Jerd, he simply just loses the gunfight. And then after that, the round's just over because they didn't have time on their side. They didn't have the man advantage on their side. They had nothing going for him. In a situation where Mad Cat, he's been sitting on streaks for a long time. He's used them once, but now the game's kind of getting out of hand. It might be desperate at this point for Splyce.
Yeah, I think desperate is the right word here. They really don't want to go 2-0 down into this series. But we are on board with Octane on the defense, and Splyce, slow and steady as it looks like they are going to make their way towards B. Mad Cat looking in there, nades going out as well. Should get the plant. Oh, Classic's gone around the back, but he is going to get taken down by Zero, but Saints is there as well. And now it's going to cause the team of Splyce to run into the 2 guns of Luminosity that are left. It's going to be there, but Octane managed to take down Mad Cat. They're looking for him still. Tries to get another snapper on. Not quite able to. He goes down, and they're looking for the last player. It's going to be Saints versus Jerd, and Jerd just spins and rips.
And save the streaks as well, but these are just like nerve-wracking rounds right now, basically for both teams as well. Again, the situation is if LG goes up 2-0, well, the series is almost surely theirs. So Splyce, this is, you got to imagine, a must-win match. Tied up 4-4. It's always going to come down to the wire. Again, this is a matchup that could have very easily been our grand finals, but this is for top 6. There is so much on the line.
There really is, and we're on board once again here to see how this goes down. Saints has kinetic. That reactive armor should come in so well for him, but again, same tactics. Don't challenge any bomb site, allow them to plant, and then they've got to make the break.
Well, the Scorchers actually got used over top the bomb site, but you see number 1, Octane. He just goes and jumps off the map and hides. They called it in too late. They give up the thing for free. Now Classic gets traded out, but 3v3, same situation. Now Jerd, he could at least go and try and break through Bust, but he's going to get taken down as well by Slack, who's hanging out mid-map, and this is a situation that we are all too privy to. Octane kills Zero. I think he was trying to hop on the bomb. Mad Cat's by himself. And again, you'd imagine if you can't do it the first time of defusing the bomb when LG gets it down, and you can't do it the second time, surely you'd think of something to stop the third, but now they wasted streaks because they called it in too late. I mean, LG's been planning as quick as they possibly can. They haven't switched anything up. They haven't done anything creative, nothing special in Splyce. They're not reacting.
No, there is no adjustment coming in. You've got to wonder to yourself if that's because they just played Epsilon on this map and they're maybe playing off an old kind of score sheet. But let's see what they can do now. You've got to bear in mind that payloads are active for Luminosity. Jerd only has his FTL, and while it is good in his hands, I'd take reactive over it pretty much every day of the week.
Yeah, and I mean, Saints is just hanging out. He's already clutched once. He can easily clutch again in this situation. Of course, that bomb goes down, but hell, you'd like to have those streaks now that that bomb's planted outside. Either way, they're backing up to blue, and the situation now is LG wouldn't be surprised at all if they try to hop the bomb. If they get enough guns and can force Splyce back far enough, and there you see the smokes. Now if they just hop on it, Splyce is going to have to freak out. They're going to have to challenge the gunfight because they have no idea what's going on. They don't know if a player's defusing or not. A player's going to be on the bomb. See, reactive gets popped, but it doesn't matter. They're going to defuse. These are the most predictable strats I have ever seen, and Splyce can do nothing against it.
They didn't adapt. They didn't overcome, and you can see here he did manage to kill the bomb diffuser. No, he didn't. I don't think he did in the end. Just not quite able to get him through that smoke. And as soon as they went down, you would have thought that maybe Splyce would have made a move, or maybe they were waiting for the bait out, or something going on. But clearly they're not happy with it at all. And they are now 2-0 down and one map away from walking out of this tournament.
And I mean, come on, do you really think realistically they have it in them to make the reverse sweep? I mean, if they're not making mid-game adjustments in search and destroy, like, how much do they really have in the tank? Because again, they had a round where Saints clutched a 1v2, and that's after Madcat got the hot start of like 6-0. He gets 2 separate streaks, so not like a Scarab streak. I mean, he gets the Scorchers and he gets the Trinity. And then LG responds to the streaks, which they know he has because they've seen him in like the death cams. They go outside and try and plant on B and just die and lose the round because of it. That's like the level of strategy that we're at.
Yeah.
Either way, though, again, the situation is whether or not Splyce can make the reverse sweep. We're going to find out.
Yeah, I think Saints 1v2 was so influential. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, however, we're going to see if Splyce are going to regain. Season 1 champions are one map away from walking out of this tournament. See you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Uplinked on Precinct. It's Splyce versus Luminosity, and Luminosity will hold the lead 2-0 as they both try to get into this one, and he ends up throwing it to Octane just as he dies.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's just two questions that we have to answer right now. The first, of course, being, can Splyce pull off the reverse sweep? And the answer is yes. It's not very likely, but of course they can. And then, of course, the question is on the flip side of things, can LG just win one of the next three? And well, considering they've already won two, I'd say yes, almost definitively. Again, LG, they are just in full control right now. But hey, again, we kind of talked about uplink being the swing map. This is where the big plays matter most, and Zero was able to do just that. Intercepts the drone like it's nothing and gets the reset.
He's literally so good at it, you have to prepare for him being there. If he's anywhere near that portal, do not throw a one. I've seen Zero probably intercept more than I've seen anybody else do it.
Well, interesting stat for sure. Of course, though, in the gunfight department, Slack right now, he's doing all right himself. He got a nice little two-streak there, and they're going to move the drone out as well. Of course, he's kind of debating on which side to go on. He's waiting for his teammates to kind of show up, and, well, they're just falling around him, so might be going for that desperate one. Imagine he's going to get cut down before, but he gets it off, and, well, that's nearly impossible, if not completely impossible, to intercept. So there you go. Slack did it entirely by himself.
He did, and now they're going to go for this one, go street, and try to get a one themselves. Judd's already got down. He's going to go up high. That's no good. I knew that was no good, even if he managed to get it on target.
Yeah, I mean, just way too short, not even remotely close. Of course, it was a desperate situation for the guy, but still, you can't afford to have stuff like that happen, really. Again, back against the wall. If Splyce falls, that's top 8. That is your only European team placing top 8. That's worse than old times.
Yeah, I was starting to get used to European teams not doing horrible at champs. I'm glad that's over.
Well, I mean, as we continue on, though, Jerd, you got to imagine he's going to be the guy that tries to step it up. He's trying to pick up the drone. That was a bit of a struggle for him, but he does have a lead blocker. It was Madcap. Jerd, offer for redemption to hit the one-point shot. Classic, though. He was going to be there. He was prepared. Doesn't have many kills, but he saved his team from points. Vastly more important.
He did, and now they're going to try and reset this one once again. You can actually see it's going to be Zero trying to be in the way here as well. Magat's going to go on Overwatch with him. Judd's going to be there picking up the two-piece, and that's the third down as well. They will now start making a move, and Magat's actually going to be looking for Saints there as well. Saints ends up taking down Magat, but they're going to go for this one, and they keep missing.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say this has to be nerves because of Champ's main stage, right? Backs against the wall. The first one, all right, Jerd, I'll give it to you. Your teammates fell around you, but the next two, I mean, that is just beyond unacceptable in these moments. And again, you got to imagine that they're going to be at least a little bit shook. And then, of course, LG on the flip side of things, well, they're hitting one-point shots from different angles. Luckily, Zero is there to pad his interception stats, but still, it's just crazy that this game is only 1-0.
It really is. Now they're going to try and move forward. They do have the advantage in kills, but this is always difficult to push street. Is Zero actually going to go through this? I think they might end up trying to get the one here. He's going to end up sliding out and getting it. Gets it through as well. Managed to get it before he gets shut down. Well, turns out if you can't hit it street, you're going to have to go all the way back alley. And Van's going to pick up that kill as well. Can they start cooking here, Splyce? They are down 2-0 in the series. It's now 1-1 on this side.
Well, Mad Cat's got to pick up some kills. Able to get the first, but the drone's going to go out the opposite side. Now, we've already seen you can hit ones over here from Construction over top wood. He's going to try and go for it again. Well, Classic actually was picking up kills, and yeah, he didn't get enough height, so that drone's going to get reset. That is very lucky if you're a Splyce fan. That could have been 2, but still the pressure is on. Octane's coming around, and there you see the kills all coming in, all because of those E-Rads, and that is going to be a dunk on board. Luminosity, they're going to be able to force it through.
They are, and now it's going to be trying Splyce to react to this one. Problem is, they've left the player behind them as well, and while that player is out of position, they don't want to get hit by him. Mad Cat, it looks like might be able to get a 2 here, actually, fairly easily. Tied game.
Bouncing back head-to-head. Again, these teams in Uplink are very closely contested at a time. Splyce is probably the best Uplink team in the game, but of course, LG, they will always be nipping at their heels. Still, though, in mid-map, it appears a team kill came in, so fortunate for Splyce, it's more of that 50-50 split. Octane inside the hill, able to get one. Jerd, though, he's going to be there for the trade. So again, very closely contested match, 23 seconds left. Either team would love to get one more point on board.
They would. Jerd's still trying to hold this one down. He gets another snap on. He's looking, just guarding against so many players. His teammates finally backing him up here. Jerd's been alive here for a while. Trying to stay alive, trying to save it for his squad. Can they do anything here?
Well, no, time's just going to tick down, excuse me. It seems like Splyce there, they just wanted to play keep away. Not sure if they felt like they just didn't have an opportunity to score. I mean, personally, I would have liked them to try something, but at the very least, going to that second half fresh, and again, it can't be understated how much this matters. Splyce, they can't afford to lose. If they lose, they are top 8. This map is the most important map so far of their entire IW careers, their lifespan. This is what it comes down to.
Well, let's see exactly how this second half is going to play out. 5 minutes, and Splyce could be out top 8. 2 kills there, unfortunately. It is one for the other team and one for your own team. Now, they're going to see if they can make street work. It looks like they might end up going back alley as well. Classic going back. Now he might end up dipping out at the same time. Bant ends up making 1 kill, but they have a great opportunity here to make the 1. Simple, easy 1 for them.
And that's how it's done. We watched Splyce miss, what, 3 of those in the first half, and then Classic, he hits it dead center. There was no even thought in my mind that that shot was not going to go in, and that's what it takes. Again, you can't afford to make mistakes really at all, especially not big ones as wasting points. So Splyce, their work is cut out for them. They got to do even more to fight back. Octane, though, in the kill feed, he's going to be able to pick up 3, 2 of which with the MV4. Now Slack's going to be on the move. Has a bit of clearance as well, but actually he's leading the charge. He's got to hit the 1. The interception might come in, but that's not going to be the case. And there we have another look on exactly how to hit that 1-point throw.
And it is looking like a dire situation for the guys on Splyce. They are not making the kills. They are not making moves. They are just trying to hold on, but it keeps slipping further and further away from them. They don't change up. It's game over in 3 minutes, 40 seconds.
And now, of course, Octane, right now, he has that overdrive. If they pick up just a few kills, it's an immediate pass to him, and he can sprint that one in for the 2. Slack, leading the charge, is able to pick up 1, make it a 2nd, and there you go. Overdrive popped. He is going to be flying through. 1 more player. That's going to be 0. Has to come up large, but doesn't even have the ammo in the clip. And Octane is beaming, killing kids in a bullet, putting LG up 7-3.
Is your boy LaRue shredding? I think he is this time around, and he is shredding the hopes and dreams of Splyce as they slip 4 points behind now on the uplink. They still can't even get drone control.
And of course, LG, they're wrapping it around the long way as well. So even if they don't pick up kills, they can just hit that reset, and they're going to be wasting time. And, well, that's what Octane's going to be waiting for. You see the pressure was coming in from both sides. Classic helping out. Octane's going to get 1. Jared, though, there for the trade. So that drone is down in a decent position for Splyce. But, again, they got to get that second wave of kills. And as they're trying to do that, that drone is going to fall back all the way over to middle map.
Now, 2 minutes 40 left. This game is not over. But unless something dramatically changes here, Chance, you can't say anything else but Luminosity have this one in the bag.
Well, and there you go. Streak's getting called in by Slack, and Octane is waiting patiently for it. He's able to get 1. Octane's going to make his move. Players triple stacked over in glass, but you can't get the interception when you're inside a building. LG continuously making play after play, and they are executing to perfection, not missing ones, not missing a single beat, and they are continuing. More Streaks getting called in, and what can Splyce even do? They're getting spawn trapped by Streaks. This is going to end up being Dunk Saints. He just has to jump this one in. Octane did all the work for him, and there you go. Slack picks up 2 more. 10-3, 2 minutes left. Splyce, this is your year, man.
2 minutes left and a mountain to climb. And it doesn't even look right now that Splyce could get over a small hill, let alone a mountain. More Streaks coming in, more Trinities, more bombardments. I really don't know what Splyce can do here and now. Luminosity are running a train on them.
Well, if you're in the back right now, if you're a pro player that is currently in the top 6, top 8, wherever we're at in the standings, if you're watching LG play, you better make damn sure that you win the search and destroy, because it is clear that they are very, very skilled in the respawns.
10-point difference, 1 minute 15 left to go. I don't think we've ever seen a comeback that big.
And with 1 minute and 10 left, just for the math right there, you got a 5-possession game. It would be something if they had about 3 camos, 4 overdrives, and 2 FTLs to work with. But unfortunately for them, they have absolutely none of that. They have 1 point toss overboard, but again, how many have we seen them miss just this game alone? I think that's number 4.
Well, even if they had hit all those ones, it really wouldn't matter at this point. They aren't going to be able to do an awful lot. They are going to go down, and it wouldn't even surprise me to see Splyce stop playing any second now. It's not an awful lot we can say about it. It's too far, it's too much. And Europe, their last hopes and dreams, are going to die here on the swords of Luminosity. So much was said of the Splyce team all year long. They got the win, they got a second. And that team they end up playing in those two finals will be the team that drops them out of this tournament, top 8, with a final score of 15-3 and 3-0 series score.
And Classic got a quad feed just to add that little insult to injury. Splyce, they've made history in the past in this game. They are obviously an incredible team, not just by European standards, but by all standards of Call of Duty. Very talented players overall, but when it mattered most, when it was at champs, I mean, just even that search and destroy, they just got beat. They didn't try to mix anything up. They allowed the same consistent things to happen. They kept making mistakes. The uplink came. They missed 1-point shot after 1-point shot, but then LG at the same time, just way too strong. When they're at their best, this team might have the highest peak in Infinite Warfare as long as all 4 players are playing at their top.
Well, Luminosity are doing it the hard way around. They are in fact now top 6. How much further can they go? But before we move on, we must move back. Let's look at the hard point and show how it all broke down for this one. And as you can see, I think realistically, we spoke about P2 being the high score going through, and I've been told that we might actually end up jumping into Alpha instead. There's a very close game going on between E United and